I would come into work and like my inks would be somewhere else or like half open, like somebody was using it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I locked my box when I left and the manager called me up and bitched me out over the phone because I locked my toolbox. So obviously the manager was taking my shit. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I grew so fast because I was around a bunch of artists that were way better than me. My artwork's different. It's a different twist on things. And I think people like that because it's refreshing. They're not seeing the same shit all the time.
What's happening? This is Austin with Support Your Local Tattooer. Today is a beautiful day. It's Friday over here. I don't know when we're going to drop this podcast, but we got my man Mike Biggs in the house. He's a tattooer. He's a freaking all-around extremely talented artist, and his work ethic is unparalleled, I'd say. You're quite the hermit.
That's true.
You like to work and work only.
Yeah, pretty much.
You told me that you would like to, if your food would come in a pill form, you would do that so you didn't have to ever leave your garage.
That's true. I wish it was like a 3-course meal in pill form. I just take that and go back to work.
Just pull 2 out of your pocket every day or every couple hours. So as far as tattooing right now, you're kind of almost taking not a break, but you're doing guest spots and stuff.
Every once in a while. I don't really tattoo as much lately because I moved too. So if I was still in town, I probably would do more tattooing every once in a while, but...
And you're in Prescott now?
Yeah, Prescott, Arizona.
And so I got to link you up with Alex Hamilton. He's a fantastic tattooer and he lives in Prescott.
No way.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Incredibly kind dude too. So we always like to kind of get a little feedback on, I just like to hear people's stories, like how you got into the industry. Yours is kind of fun. You got into it in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I was born and raised here, so I've been here my whole life. But I don't know, I just always like fall into weird, odd jobs. Because I was a graphic designer out of college.
Oh, okay.
So I did that for like, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 years, just doing graphic design. But it was all like dumb Vegas casino type of shit.
Yeah, for a firm or anything, or just freelance?
Well, at first it was like a print house that printed like the casino like the stuff for slot machines and things like that.
Oh, no shit.
So I was set. That was like my first job out of college, but it was like $9 an hour. And I was just setting up the plates because at the time they were still doing screen printing on glass.
Oh, and did you get to witness that? School. And learn?
Oh, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I did color separation. That was my first job. I would take all the artwork that the artists make and then I would separate all the plates and then they would print those and then fucking screen print on glass.
That's rad.
Super wild job.
Okay. I have a few of those like old school glass out of slot machines and stuff growing up.
So I did that and then I worked at Bally Gaming as an artist there and I didn't like it. I don't know, the whole like Vegas like casino artwork thing, it's very cheesy to me.
Yeah.
And you have to learn Adobe Illustrator, which I hate that program. But it's very technical. It's not like Photoshop, it's like real technical. So
you went to college and you had a real job. I call it a real job.
Yeah, it's a real job.
Before you started tattooing.
Yeah. And, I got sick of the semi-professional graphic design thing. And so I quit and started doing like kind of like freelance graphic design kind of on the side. But even that was really hard and it wasn't consistent and the money wasn't that great. So I would get these odd jobs. Like I worked at Lids at the airport as a nighttime closing manager or something.
Just so you could draw all day long or what?
I literally I was just drawing while at the airport and like people would come buy a hat every once in a while.
Okay.
It was an easy ass job and I would close up and I don't know. But it was weird because like I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I was just working that job at Lids and I worked with this girl and her cousin was a tattoo artist and she would see me like drawing all the time while I work. I was just like always sketching, always. Yeah. And she's like, well, my cousin's a tattoo artist. You should talk to him. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess so. Like, I'll talk to him one day. And I met him and he was like, yeah, I'll take you on as an apprentice if you want. I had no idea what.
Who was that again?
That was Riz.
Oh, okay.
So Riz, he was at
like, where'd you start your apprenticeship at?
Right by UNLV at why can't I think of it now? Because it's gone now.
Yeah. Well, the shops change hands and like names like 100 times in 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much, but
Stanky Dankies was across the street.
Okay. Well, we had Diversity over there.
Diversity, that's where I got it.
Oh, you started at Diversity?
Yeah, I started at Diversity.
Okay.
I was like...
Which is a head shop.
And then upstairs they had tattooing.
Yeah.
And a piercer upstairs.
Yeah.
But I just mopped the floor and I learned how to make needles.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to make needles every day for him and things like that.
Did you have to pay for your apprenticeship, or what is it kind of?
I paid for my apprenticeship.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I didn't have a lot of money, so I was just like giving him money every week or every month or whatever.
And he had a max on it, or what? Was it?
Yeah. He told me, like, I can't remember at the time what it was, but it was definitely like
probably a lot of money for you at the time.
It was probably like $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
$4,000 or something. And I just was like, well, I don't have that, but can I just learn and pay as I go? And he's like, yeah, sure. But I don't think he was even suited to teach. And like,
at the time.
You know what I mean? At the time, I just kind of sat there and watched him, did the usual stuff, set up, tear down, make needles when he's tattooing, and watch him ask questions and shit.
Yeah. Did you have fun? Why? I don't know. Just that newness to the world right there, where you're starting to like introduce yourself to clients and stuff. Did that help you kind of come out of your shell as an artist and tattooing? Like,
no, I mean, I always got yelled at, and like, I think it was, I don't know, that was like probably 2007. I don't know how old I was, but
probably 27.
No, I was younger than that. I was born in 79.
Oh, I'm not good at math.
I'm not any good at math either. That's why I'm an artist.
Shit. So you started there, and then I don't know, how was that experience? Like in that, you're right across from the college there.
Well, it's like
sketchy kind of neighborhood.
It was sketchy. I think it's still sketchy down there, but you know, it was definitely college students and, you know, people coming in to get pierced. And there wasn't a whole lot of tattooing going on for some reason.
It was a head shop.
It was a head shop because you walk in and you don't know that there's tattooing.
No,
there. It's just like,
I remember going in there when I was like 17 and like sneaking up there to watch a friend get a tattoo with a fake ID and shit.
And that place sold like
meth pipes,
terrible shit. So you get these terrible ass people coming in to buy cheap ass the stuff to smoke.
They had a factory supposally where that's all they did was just blow crack pipes and shit.
So that's the environment I learned in.
Yes, you had to meet some golden humans there.
It wasn't
some
like
kind people.
Oh, I love your artwork. I want to learn how to do this. It wasn't like that at all. I just was like, maybe I'll try this out and see if I like it.
Yeah.
And I didn't at first.
Really?
Yeah. Like I think after a while, he kind of fired me because I think I fucked up one of his things to make the needles. You know, I was sitting there like
the jigs.
I probably messed something up, and he's like, oh, I'm not going to teach you anymore. Get out of here, kind of thing. I don't know. Riz was a wild dude. I don't know.
Really?
I think now he's like a transvestite call girl or something. I don't know. I've heard some weird stories about him.
That's great. Well, I wish him the best.
Yeah, totally. I don't know where he's
tattooing. Yeah.
I've heard stories about him though. So
there's a handful of great local tattooers that went down a definitely not healthy path. I've seen her like wandering the streets and shit, which
getting
is too bad.
Stabbed and all kinds of weird stories.
So how'd you like reinstate your apprenticeship, or did you go somewhere else?
So I stopped doing that and I went back to like just graphic design on the side, and I opened a gallery downtown for First Fridays.
Yeah, because you just
2008.
Throughout all this, you've constantly been creating art, right?
Yeah,
digital and
my entire
acrylic
life,
painting and oil painting. I've seen you do everything.
I feel like I'm just getting jobs, and when I have a job, I'm just like thinking about how to get out of that job and do my own thing, like everything through my whole life. So that's pretty much how it's been. And then I think in like 2008, I was doing First Friday. I was like heavily involved with First Friday, and I opened that gallery, and I met Nick Bones.
Oh, okay.
I was actually for a very short time, I restarted my apprenticeship at this other tattoo shop. It was like a street shop off of like Flamingo in the 95. The dude's name was Mike.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the shop.
Mike? No.
Anyway, he was really nice. And he's like, oh, you started an apprenticeship, but you didn't finish it. You could just come finish it here and I'll just sign you off. Like, and you can start working here. I was like, that sounds like a good deal. Cause I didn't want to restart my whole apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Cause that could take 8
How long
months to
that was
a year.
like a break? You took like a year break or something?
Maybe a year break or less than a year break until I found somebody that was like willing to let me go through the apprenticeship again.
Yeah.
Without being shitty, like, wash my car and do that kind of stuff. I mean, he saw me as an artist and he was like, I feel bad that you didn't finish your apprenticeship. Like, let's just do the paperwork again. So I did that. And then, I wasn't getting any work out of there. It was like a really shitty location and it was a street shop and I was supposed to take walk-ins and I didn't have a lot of clients or anything like that. So it was like, I wasn't getting anywhere.
It was an impossible transition.
Yeah. And so I was unhappy again. I was like, what the fuck, man? So I was doing First Friday and I was having somewhat of a success, making money and doing good. And then I met Nick Bones I was doing a group show.
Yeah.
And I invited him to the group show and he did a piece for the group show and he came over my house. He had like a curly mustache and dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Like totally wild dude. Super nice. And that was when I first met Nick Bones. And he's like, so what do you do? Like, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get into tattooing. And he's like, oh, I'm a tattoo artist. Like I work at Three Lions, which was in the Sahara at the time.
Or Riviera.
Riviera, that's right.
Yeah.
They had one at Sahara and the Riviera, but he was at the Riviera. And he's like, are you happy where you're at? And I'm like, nah, it really kind of sucks. I'm not getting any work. He's like, well, come, I'll put in a good word for you. Maybe you can just come work there with me. And I mean, from the get-go, Nick Bones was like super.
He's awesome.
Super cool dude. Yeah. And I liked him from the beginning. And that's how I feel like that was really when I got started.
Yeah. Did you take a full-time gig there?
I did take a full-time gig there at the Riviera.
Yeah.
Which was a wild place to tattoo is in a casino, a shitty hotel casino from the 70s or something. Yeah. So
it's leveled now, but
it's not.
They had
there
the brass
anymore.
Sculptures of all the naked girls that you could touch. Like everybody touched their butts. Their butts were all polished.
The butts were all polished.
And the rest of the brass
dirty.
sculpture is so disgusting. Like
so
people
gross.
bums peeing on it and shit.
So gross.
So you got to meet some great people through that shop though, right? Because didn't Tyson come through there?
Tyson worked there. Like, I love Tyson to death. He worked there when I was about to leave.
Yeah.
So I got to meet him, and there's two shitty people that worked there that would like steal people's supplies or do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Snake tattoos or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But that was a really good experience for me, despite the weird shop being inside a casino.
Yeah.
You
was constant traffic and you're getting to exercise your skill sets.
Yeah, you had to, because there was only 2 booths. And like, if you're tattooing, there's nobody up front.
Yeah.
So if you're tattooing and the phone rings, you have to like take your gloves off, answer the phone, make an appointment, that kind of thing.
Yeah, some old school shit.
But, no locals went in there. So I couldn't get any like big sleeve, like big jobs to where you're constantly doing like work on somebody.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot and I learned really fast and I got to work with artists that I liked.
Yeah. Well, you're talented too, but you got to basically like sharpen your tools and get in there and like exercise the hell out of your illustration skills.
Yeah.
And do it right on the fly, which not too many people can do with these. No.
Yeah. Well, that was before like iPads and internet, like people just like grab shit and trace it. Yeah, you had to draw.
And they weren't even bringing shit off their phones too much. Yeah.
No, not at all. That was like, I had to draw, and I was used to that anyway because I was always drawing. But it was nice. I had like a whole portfolio of just like drawings that I wanted to do, and I would just set that out on the counter, and people would come in and be like, "Holy shit! Like, what the fuck's this?" And
you guys had some good stories though. Like, do you remember any fucked up clients? Because
I don't know. I didn't have any bad experiences there other than just dealing with some of the people that worked there that wanted to, like the managers there were terrible and would call me up and like, because I would come into work and like my inks would be somewhere else or like half open, like somebody was using it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I locked my box when I left and the manager called me up and bitched me out over the phone because I locked my
toolbox.
So obviously the manager was taking my shit. I was like, what the fuck, dude? So that was the only bad experience. I know Nick Bones had tons of stories. He always had like terrible, like people throwing up in his booth and like falling out of the chair, like passing out and that kind of thing. But I think overall I had a pretty good experience there.
They had like a hackers convention that came through there. So you guys got
hackers. Like that was the good thing about that place is it had a small like convention center or banquet hall or something. Yeah. So tons of these like really cool like billiards convention or like darts convention or like these weird like they had like these old West guns quick draw, but they would shoot like wax bullets or something inside at like targets. So those people were super cool because they wanted like gun tattoos and shit like that. So it was fun doing stuff like that.
That's one great thing about growing up tattooing in Vegas is due to the constant flow of people and these weird fucking groups and cultures that come through for all their, gatherings and trade shows or whatever you want to call them. You just meet all different kinds of people and it's fun. And like in your environment, you got to do a lot of small tattoos, which taught you a lot.
It keeps you on your toes. And then you're always doing stuff that you didn't do the day before. Like, I don't know, it just keeps it fresh. Like and
the conversations are fresh because you're oh shit. Okay. You're a professional gunslinger. Can you teach me about this?
It's pretty weird. So
I enjoyed that big time about tattooing growing up here. But you were there for a couple of years or what?
I was there for a couple of years and I would go to like tattoo conventions and I would see like you and I even I would like hang out at your guys' first shop by the Orleans.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to like, I heard your Studio 21 was like a really good shop, a really good local shop and it's family owned. So you guys would have art shows and events and I would go to them and I would just hang out and I'd be all like super shy and be like, hey, so what's happening in Austin? And I'd try to like,
really?
I'm more buddy with like your mom because she was a graphic designer. And
and she was always up front talking to everybody and stuff too. Yeah.
So I was just trying to get in with that. And I saw your dad and you at a convention and I didn't mention anything or whatever, but I remember your sister called me out of the blue and was like, hey, summer's coming up. We're looking for artists. Would you like to come for an interview or whatever and show your portfolio? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I actually said no at first.
Really?
I don't know why I said no.
Panicked or something?
I think I was like, I'm at. I'm comfortable. And I started at 3 Lions and I'm like, I got a good thing going here. Like, I don't want to like just leave all of a sudden because I was just I just started there.
Yeah.
And I liked the dudes that I was working with. So but she called me again and insisted I come in and I was like, okay, I'll come in and just show my portfolio and check out the shop and things like that.
That was when we were at our newer shop in like 2006 and on.
Yep.
Okay. No shit. And then, so you were with us for 10 years,
10 years.
Right?
I was with you guys for 10 years and I was super comfortable and I loved it.
Yeah.
That was the best experience in my life. I can tell you right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
10 years. Great. It didn't even seem like 10 years.
Oh, it was prime time too. Like later on, a lot of the guys like Nick Bones ended up coming over and Tyson ended up coming over. So all the people that you liked ended up coming and working at the shop. And we had like such a great run there for like 10 years of just like close. We were all super fucking busy. Like the busiest I've ever been.
Busy as hell.
In tattooing.
And like no joke, some of my best friends that still to this day, like fucking crazy. And I grew so fast because I was around a bunch of artists that were way better than me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have that at some of the other shops. I was kind of like on par or like I was still kind of like learning, but Studio 21 pushed me like super hard, super fast.
Dude, we had such a good crew and everybody there was like their work ethics were strong.
Yeah.
Which obviously showed like in their illustrations. So we were constantly like, there was no moment that was like pre-TikTok and shit too. So we're never like sitting around watching TV. Remember I had no TVs in the shop.
No TVs.
So if we weren't tattooing, we were drawing or painting. Yeah. That was like, it was such a great golden time, you know, it was really cool. Rad. Yeah. And the energy was there.
And then the pandemic hit.
Yeah. And then the
shop
COVID
shut
hits.
Down.
Shop gets shut down.
And
we all kind of shit our pants. And then, so then we got everything shifted. Like half the team just had to leave or panicked, you know, and then
I was in a good position. I was already doing side hustle shit.
Yeah.
I was already selling my artwork and started doing ceramics.
Yeah, ceramics. You had your own website for a really long time with all of your art available.
I was doing conventions.
Constantly doing trade shows outside of tattoo conventions too. It was obviously you're doing Designer Con and
I was doing all kinds of Comic Cons and whatever I can really whatever arts things I can do to sell my stuff.
Yeah. You were always so good at that. And I still to this day are. I mean, you're currently here right now because you're here for Designer Con.
Yeah.
But that's kind of one thing I like to talk about is like, I feel like there's just something awesome about having a little bit of a side hustle, even if that's you're a tattooer and then you paint at night and sell your prints. And I just feel like it's incredibly important to diversify in case not in case, but like when things like the pandemic hit, you were all of a sudden, there was no like panic. You were like, okay, well, if I can't tattoo, then I'm just going to do this full time.
I'm going to go hard.
Yeah.
Like on my personal shit.
And we were forced to.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. You and I both built something amazing during the pandemic. But you had already been doing ceramics, which is why all these mugs are here. These are all rad, amazing Tiki mugs now that you like you and I always like dabbled and interested in the Tiki culture and stuff. But
just go to Frankie's and like
collecting small trinkets, but you know, maybe not like full on into it. But then you just went full on into it.
Yeah,
I
don't know. I just had the opportunity. I had the time. I was lucky enough to where I had money saved.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, it was kind
of lucky. That's you making good decisions.
I had money saved and I wasn't like one of those tattoo artists that like blew all their money all the time. But I think I was excited to just do my own thing. And I mean, it was scary at first. Yeah. But
you're forced to,
but I was forced to. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go really hard on this and build my company up and do the big Tiki thing. And so it was really exciting time. It was scary and also exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what it was. Everything was just like,
uncertain. All of us were just thrown into our homes and like, you know, fed a bunch of negativity and stuff and
kids in the house.
Yeah. It was challenging. Crazy. Yeah. I love what you've done with this stuff. So like, tell us a little more about this. Like, so what I see from an outsider's perspective is you're doing kind of not disruptive, but you're doing things different than what like the Tiki culture has seen in the past, right? You're using newer technology. You're using all the 3-dimensional program. What do you call those programs?
Just like 3D sculpting. Yeah. Instead of, I mean, I did sculpt by hand at first.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't super confident in my 3D sculpting skills. I was like learning at the time. I love learning like new tools and like I'm always learning new shit. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I like that. I like starting all over as a noob and I think that's how my whole life has been.
Yeah. And just being in love with whatever you're doing is always like a positive. And if you force yourself to constantly be working, then you'll see progression. And you've obviously seen that. So you like, I don't know, go back to this. Like you obviously an illustrator first, and then you go in, you sketch these rough ideas out on paper and then bring them into the 3D programs.
Yeah. Like I'll sketch on the iPad or whatever. And then, I don't do like a front, side and back view or anything. I just do a cool sketch, like a tattoo design.
Yeah.
And then I, in my head, already know it's going to be so fun to sculpt in 3D.
Yeah.
So I just start doing it, you know.
What are the programs you're using again?
ZBrush.
And you can use that on your iPad too, or no?
No, they do now. I think have stuff on the iPad. I have my workflow is on the regular computer, so I just keep doing that same thing.
Yeah, I always call your house like the mad scientist lab because you go over there and like your monitors and everything are all set up super dope.
A 3D printer. I always like I said, new tools and stuff to make I always reinvest into my company. Like, I'm always looking at like 3D printers or like nice tablets and computers and things like that.
Yeah. So after you 3D sculpt them, are you 3D printing these out?
Yeah. Like I'll 3D print the original like prototype.
Yeah.
And then I just have to make molds from there.
And I think you remember you saying like the 3D printers weren't that great back in the day. So now you can, you come in, you clean them up and like fill or sand and stuff.
Yeah. I don't have to really do that now. Like now they come out pretty good. Like I don't have to really sand them down or anything much.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's come a long way in the past like 5 years even.
And you've literally taught yourself everything just via YouTube or whatever?
Yeah, mostly YouTube.
Just asking friends and
nobody really in the Tiki mug making community. There's not too many people doing the 3D stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. I've never seen. I think you're the only one I've ever seen do it.
Even like the subject matter, I don't do like traditional Tiki stuff. I respect it and I love that whole culture and stuff. It's really fun and kitschy and stuff. Yeah. But I don't want to pretend like I know about that whole culture, and I don't want to try to. I just do my own thing. Yeah. I love
we bring a lot horror pop.
Pop, weird oddity type of stuff.
You bring in all sorts of stuff like titties,
skull titties,
skull titties,
and
this guy's fun.
I think it's cool, man. Like it's the first time in my life where I'm not. I'm trying not to like think too much about like what other people want. I just want to do my own thing. Yeah. And I've never been able to do that.
Yeah. That's
As a graphic designer or a tattoo artist or whatever else, I'm constantly thinking about what can I do to sell it? Because I want to make people happy.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm making myself happy. So it's
good.
Pretty wild.
You're also doing like bubblers and fucking bongs, right?
Bongs and stuff.
And that's not something that I have never seen any Tiki guy go into that.
And I'm like scared about the whole bong thing. So I call it a bubble maker, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. When you say scared, like you just,
well, the first time I got into like importing stuff from like China or overseas, I just started doing that maybe like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I was getting mugs made because I was selling out of all my personal stuff. I would make like a batch of 50 and then they would sell out like really quick.
All handmade, hand painted.
Yeah. So my website would be like kind of empty. Yeah. Or like it would just have 1 or 2 items and it'd say sold out. So I was talking to people trying to get stuff made overseas, and I started I did a couple mugs. Like this is an import one. I didn't make that one.
Oh, okay.
I designed it and made them myself at first, but then I remade them to be imported from China.
Yeah, I like your logo on the bottom and everything.
But after I did this one, I did a bong, and the company the middleman that helped me get the order through to the factories, like on the paperwork, they listed it as bong, and it came to Vegas and they just destroyed all of them because on the boxes and everything, it said like bong on it, and that's illegal. So that was really sad because it takes like 4 months or 5 months to get these things made and come all the way from overseas, and then it has to go through customs and all this shit. So customs opened it up and like opened all the boxes up and were like, yep, that's a bong. So they just destroyed all of them, called me up and were like, yeah, you're not getting these. It was a shitty thing. Okay. So
hard lesson learned.
So now I call them vases or bubble makers.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of go around it a little. Wonder if probably not good to say that. But.
No, it's all right. That's all right. So other than that, like how's the Tiki kind of community? Or they seem to embrace you great, right?
Yeah, like, I think because I am so different than I think that's how it's been with my art. Anytime I do like a Comic-Con or like a convention even, I like kind of get into these little niche markets, but I'm like, my artwork's different. It's a different twist on things. And I think people like that because it's refreshing. They're not seeing the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
The same Tiki character carving, which that's fine if that's what you want to do and you're into that whole classic traditional thing.
Yeah.
But I'm coming in and I'm trying to like do my own thing. And
everybody seems to be cool though.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel weird like calling it a Tiki mug, but that's just the style of the mug. And I'm not trying to, I don't know, culturally appropriate the whole thing. Like I'm not trying to take that whole culture and twist it in a way. But I'm really happy that the people do like my stuff and they buy it. And
I see all like the biggest Tiki guys in the industry that I'm aware of, like on your Instagram, and they're like, I've seen your following grow. Great.
People are super nice.
Yeah.
So There's nobody that's shitty in that whole culture thing. I'm sure there are, but so far I've been accepted and everybody's super stoked on my stuff.
That's awesome. It's cool, man. I'm stoked about it for you. This is a really fun project. And I don't know, does any of this help you sell tattoos, or do you get back into like,
I think so.
You've been doing guest spots and stuff, right?
Every once in a while, but I think, I don't know. I want a tattoo, but I want to tattoo like my own stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like people kind of like they'll hit, once they know you tattoo artist, it all comes out like, oh, I got this shitty tattoo. Can you fix this tattoo? And I'm like, no, it's not really what I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like,
You're doing any flash sheets, right? You're kind of.
I did a while ago, but I mean, I have a lot of designs just on paper on my iPad designed, but I haven't really like gotten back into tattooing in a little bit. So I want to. I do miss it. I miss it if it's at the right place and the right design
setting.
So that kind of thing. It's like I would treat it as a commission. Like people would be like, hey, I really like this design you did or this mug you did. Like I would like it as a tattoo. Then I'd be stoked. I'd be like, I would love to tattoo this on you.
Yeah.
But it'd have to be like a little banger or something. I'm not going to sit here and do a full sleeve on anybody or like.
It's a lot of commitment these days.
Yeah.
With how much you've got going on, you got a lot of projects. So
yeah,
you've got like a soft good line now, kind of, right? Like some shirts and like umbrellas or all different kinds of tiki drinks.
I've been trying all these different products now that I'm doing like import stuff.
Yeah.
The mugs are where it's at. I feel like I'm going to focus more on that. But at first I was trying all these different products and some stuff, I have like a whole bunch of boxes in my garage that are just sitting there because nobody's buying it, like the parasols and things like that. But it was fun designing them.
Yeah.
Dude, just doing like box designs now is so fucking fun.
Yeah.
I'm like way into it now. So all my products are going to have, all my newer products, my import mugs and things have a box that I design and it has like a Tiki drink recipe on it.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
I'm learning what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. No, I'm learning those same lessons and sometimes they can be expensive, but
yeah, I mean, it's money. This is all my own money that I'm putting into this. And then it does, if it doesn't sell, it definitely bums me out. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I learned a lesson. Like people want the mugs more than this parasol or this keychain.
You can give that stuff away for free at shows or use it for like promo items and stuff. You just got to learn how to be creative with the dead shit,
Yeah, because if they buy like a bunch of stuff, like a couple mugs and like I have like cool cocktail glasses with my art on it.
Yeah.
And then I'll just throw in like one of those products that's not selling because I'm just like, here you go. There's a free.
Yeah.
And people get stoked on that stuff,
Yeah.
So,
No, it's awesome. Yeah. So you've been doing commissions too for other tiki bars, like, and now sculpting for tiki bars across the country, right?
Yeah. And New York, I've probably done maybe 5 or 6 so far.
That's cool.
But I'm still I just did one for a company called Dynasty and they're more of an import. They just have a website. But it's fun doing those commissions. I love sculpting. So just to be able to sculpt and not have to deal with the manufacturing of it.
Yeah. You're just getting to do
producing it.
That's it.
I'm like, I'm just getting paid to sculpt it and I can sculpt stuff pretty fast. So it's fun for me.
Yeah. That's fun. You got any advice for like tattooers that maybe are hesitant on side hustles, like I don't,
man.
I don't feel.
I wouldn't be hesitant on side hustling is like, you got your job, like your day job as a tattoo artist. Like, why not spend a little extra time and just put a website together and like, what's your passion? You want to make fucking blankets or like sewing or whatever you want to do.
Incorporate more of your tattoo styles into it. I'm a huge advocate for promoting yourself as an artist and not just depending on Instagram as the only platform. You gotta like diversify and.
I mean, you're a local artist and you're getting clients and stuff like that. But there's like a whole other world out there on the internet of people just like getting high at night, buying dumb shit on the internet. Like you could totally break into that market. No problem, man. You know what I mean?
Everything's so niche now too. So you just figure it out, like find your little space. And I feel like there's always someone willing to buy your shit.
It's like ingrained into me. I don't know how to give people advice because it just comes second nature to me. I'm like always doing extra stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's fun to me. I'm obsessed with just I work 7 days a week.
I know you do. I watch you. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah. I would definitely like to see you do a little tattooing if you ever want to come back and do a little guest spot or something. Lately I've been wanting to do some little collabs too. So like, if you could find like we work on an illustration together or something like that. That way I'll give me tattooing again too, because I'm not tattooing as much right now and I'm missing it. But I'm the same way. I really just, I don't have enough time to like get in there and take on these full sleeves and stuff anymore. I used to.
Or fix other people's work or.
I'm
not into that.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fix.
If I could do like a softball size tattoo and it's done in 2 hours, and I'm good. That would be awesome. So we'll have to line something up like that.
I would love that.
And if anybody wants to see Maverick Supply Co. have a Tiki mug, let us know in the comments below, because we really want to make one. And if you guys have any ideas, we got some ideas for some penguins, some Party Penguin Tiki mugs.
Tiki mug. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'll get there. So what do you got going on this weekend? You're going to be working the Designer Con convention, which will be long gone by the time this episode comes out. But
yeah, I'm here for the
first
weekend.
year in Vegas, right?
First year in Vegas. I've been doing the show since maybe like 6 years or maybe more than that. But it was in California.
Yeah.
And then like right when I move, it comes to Vegas. It's fucking hilarious. But I was like all excited that it was coming here. And then I just decided to get out of Vegas.
There's a lot of tattooers, a lot of other tattooers out, right? In this that come do this. Well, I know like Tom Hobbs.
Yeah, Hobbs and
Honky Kong, Adam. They're not coming out this year, but
Honky Kong's a great side hustle, dude, man.
Dude,
that fucking
I know.
Guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
If I can sit down and talk with him one day too.
Yeah.
Like he's somebody that has got such a unique style, stuck to his guns, and talk about side hustles. Like the dude just produces. He's making now all the jumpsuits and the
I look up to that
and the
guy.
Shirts. Dude, he's like hands down one of my favorite illustrators.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice seeing people that I know there, or that I just follow on Instagram or something. I can go like, I really feel like Designer Con is like an artist's convention, like
an art nerd show. Like
I
love to go there and nerd out on every little artist and their products that they're making.
Yeah, it's so cool.
How they represent themselves in the booths and all that shit. It's not easy, dude. And it takes a lot of work. They've got to, first of all, take off of their gig they're doing and load all their shit up, drive across the country, set all that stuff up,
which I do
set
all
up
the
your
time,
merch services, and then stand there and talk to people. You can't be lazy. You can't just sit there and fucking be on your phone. Like,
no, I don't have, I like the whole experience of like people coming and, either people are lining up because they follow you and they're like stoked to get this product from you and meet you. And then people that don't know you and you're getting your shit out there, and people like walk by your booth and like stop all of a sudden. You're like, oh shit, what's this?
Yeah, have you seen tattooing, like live tattooing, come into any of those other type of shows? I mean, I feel like I've met a few people that are saying they're trying to not just do a tattoo convention. They're kind of trying to go do these other types of conventions and then tattoo there.
Yeah, there's
to
like
expose themselves to like their niche or their the people that they want to talk to. And
I haven't seen too much of it. Like the Oddities and Curiosities show, I think, has a little tattoo thing that they do. Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, they've always had like a tattoo room.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those kinds of conventions, I can see it happening and being accepted. I don't know what kind of...
I like to see that stuff. I think it should be involved.
Yeah, totally.
Part of the experience. If anything, it shakes it up for their trade shows too.
Oh, for sure. And people would line up for that shit if they... Yeah. I don't know what kind of health crap you got to go through to get the licensing to do at a show, but it's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, shit, what else you got going on? You've been just working your butt off? And
yeah, I don't really have any... I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I'm just going to keep doing mugs until I get sick of that and then do like something else. I'm trying to build my brand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of myself like as a brand instead of like, I'm an artist, Mike Biggs. So I'm not really sure if the Biggs Tiki thing, if it's going to stay Biggs Tiki, but that will be one branch of my brand. But I might open up a whole nother brand and just do, I don't know. I don't even know. Like it's like endless. All my ideas are like, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, there's a lot more to go that you can do in the Tiki world. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I like the whole ceramic. I like the ceramic mugs and I like doing the bongs. I'm hoping the bongs really take off and I can kind of do more stuff like that. Cause I think drinking and smoking is
go
hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like some tiki people like to smoke.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
and maybe they just don't have the products out there for them to get into that. So that's where I'm coming in. I'm like, whoop.
Have you hit any of those trade shows or like any of like the smoke? I think I remember
smoking ones, but but I show my stuff at the tiki ones and it's pretty accepted. So people are like, oh shit, like I'm into that.
They're looking around. I'll take this one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping to branch out, not just the drinking line stuff, like the at-home bar line stuff, but I'm going to do like more smoking stuff too.
You're a big smoker.
I
always been. Yeah. I like it. You don't drink too much though, right? You just have an occasional tiki drink every once in a while?
Yeah, I'll have like a mocktail every once in a while. Yeah, I'm not really into the drinking. I hate the way it makes you feel.
Yeah, like, especially the next day.
Yeah, the next day. Yeah. I'm just not, I have like a terrible stomach too for that kind of stuff.
I think we've made fun of your guts for your whole life.
It's true. And it only gets worse, man, as you get older, like the whole drinking thing.
Yeah.
Because I used to, college and stuff, I think I went way too hard in college and high school and like partying. And then I think just now I'm cool with just not drinking at all.
Yeah. Smoke and build your
smoking.
Build your brand. You just gotta at least create the mocktails. So you're feeling it and you're living it.
Totally. It is weird that I make mugs and I don't drink alcohol much, but that's okay.
And you put some seltzer water in there and some fresh fruit and all sorts
Nobody
of
will know.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I think that's about it. We want to keep it short and sweet, man. I really appreciate you taking time to come out, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more tattooing out of you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hopefully we can do some stuff together. And then we'll work on hopefully getting a mug made by you one day. That's my goal.
Save your money.
Yeah, exactly. So where do we find you guys? I say you guys, but you and your wife is a phenomenal artist too.
She's an awesome artist.
Yeah.
Right now I just do everything on the website. I just have one website, but it's bigstiki.com or bigstudio.com. That's my main company is Big Studio because I kind of want to branch out and do other, keep it open. But, Instagram is always nice. Same thing, Big Studio. I think that's where you would see the most updated stuff because I'm constantly posting things on there. So if you want to see like what's going on in the studio, that's where you would go. But the website is where I'm trying to draw people to in case Instagram.
Yeah. Are you messing with TikTok at all or any of the other platforms? Or?
And that's the thing is I hate having to be, I'm an all-in-one. It's just me, man.
Yeah. You need to get your stuff on. It sounds weird. Tattooers hate Pinterest, but like for you, I think putting just the pictures up, like just uploading them constantly. Like we upload pictures of our shop and what's going on around our shop. And then all those directly link back to your website and everything. So
these are things that I'm learning right now. Cause I'm not good at marketing. The whole business side of thing kind of sucks, but I have to do it. And I'm doing all this by myself. So one day I might have, I put my kids to work when it's time to pack a bunch of orders. So that's kind of nice to have some minions going on. But
I love helping you too, though. So I always come, I love our lunches and brainstorming ideas and stuff and working on things together. So cool. We'll find you at Big Tiki, Big Studio. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No.
What shows are you doing this year coming up? You do Tiki Oasis?
I'm going to do Tiki Oasis in Arizona for the first time because I moved to Arizona.
Okay.
I moved like right as I always did the one in San Diego.
Yeah.
And it bummed me out because I love San Diego. I love going to San Diego. And I was like in the middle of a move. So I was like, hey, I was wondering if I can transfer my booth price thing over to Arizona because I'm moving there. And they were totally cool with it. So I'm going to do Arizona and keep doing Designer Con, and the Oddities shows are all over the place.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find little shows that I don't even belong in, but I can just break into. And
can you stand out at those shows?
Into it. So that's what I have planned so far.
So you plan on doing a lot more shows, like ramping up this next year?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a new van.
Yeah.
I love the van that I have, my creeper van, but if I can get a new van, I'm gonna travel more for sure.
Put a little bunk in the back of that bitch?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just do some traveling, do some shows, and promote all my stuff.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Thank you so much, Big.
Thank
I
you.
love you with all my heart.
Much
bud.
respect.
Yeah, man.
I love
you're
you.
my best bud.
Cool.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. I am really, really in love with what Mike does. So if you get a moment, check him out, support him, pick up a mug for your little mini bar at home or whatever you got. So thank you guys. Have a great one.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.